Hush is directed by Mike Flanagan, the guy who brought us Oculus, a horror film that I found very underrated. This film's currently available on Netflix streaming. So this author lives in a cabin in the middle of the woods, and she's trying to write her book while being stalked by somebody psychotic. Now that kind of sounds like the movie Secret Window with Johnny Depp, which was a very good movie. But this movie has a very interesting hook, two hooks in fact. One of them being that this killer doesn't want to come inside yet. He just wants to mess around with her for a while. He wants to play a sadistic game with her. And the other is that she's mute and deaf. So that is a big problem. So it's a clever twist on the home invasion genre. Now we've seen something like this before in a movie called Wait Until Dark starring Audrey Hepburn. I love that movie. I grew up watching it. It came out in 1967. It's about a blind woman whose home is being invaded by three men who want something inside of her house. This movie is similar in really just one way. It's a woman who has a perceived disability trying to defend herself against someone who is invading her home. Except it's a little bit different. In Wait Until Dark, these guys wanted something from this woman because it was theirs and it was accidentally placed in her house, and since she's blind, she didn't know about it. In this movie, this guy's just a psycho. And rather than being blind, she's deaf and mute. Plus, once the movie really starts and you get past the initial setup, the movies aren't really that similar. I thought this film was tons of fun. I thought it was a great thrill ride. It's very well acted. There isn't something about this movie that you watch and you go, oh my god, my mind is blown. Because it's not trying to be. It's just trying to be a really good thriller. It's also very well acted. The man who plays the killer, I don't want to ruin it for you because I personally didn't know going in. So if you don't know who plays the killer, just go watch it. It's on Netflix. I hated this guy. I hated him. I wanted this guy gone. Every time she got just slightly ahead of him, I was just like, yes! Like, it was just such a crowd-pleasing movie in some aspects. There's also a very good way the movie toys with you. Sometimes she imagines scenarios in her brain because she's very smart. She goes through what she could possibly do, and the movie tricks you a few times. And it really got to me. In fact, one time I audibly went, no! Good job, Mike Flanagan. You had me. You had me in your grip. And that's what's good about this movie. It's a movie that is just relentless in regards to being a thriller. It's simply a thriller. It's an 87-minute movie with a woman who has a perceived disability, and she has to use her disability to her advantage to try to figure out how to get out of this situation while this crazy guy's outside and all of her technology is gone. She has no cell phone. The power is out, and you have this one secluded location, and they make the best use of it. It also turns a lot of horror cliches on end. You expect certain things to happen at some time, and they don't happen. You expect certain jump scares to happen, and they don't happen. It's such a breath of fresh air to experience a fun thriller. I would relate this film to the late Wes Craven's Red Eye. Totally different movies, but very similar ideas. Very short films that are contained in one location with a woman in peril, and you have to watch as she cleverly figures out ways to get out of these situations. They're both not trying to be anything more than what they are. They're just fun thrill rides. Also, the movie has some very chilling implications with just little hints of visual things like something etched into this guy's crossbow. Really chilling stuff, really well acted, and I was on the edge of my seat. I'm gonna give Hush an A-. Guys, it's on Netflix right now. Go check it out. It's a lot of fun. It's one of those movies where you want to scream at your TV and just get so upset, but watch it in the dark. I watched it in my basement on my 65-inch TV in the dark with 2 candles, and it creeped me out. That's a really good idea. I suggest doing that. Guys, you are the best. Thank you so much for watching. Next week, I'll be back with a review for The Jungle Book. I'm looking forward to that. If you like this, you can click right here and get Stuckmanized.